Live, let's start this show.
Welcome, Wolfpack. Welcome. Oh, we're here at the zombie-infested, Halloween-ified location today with your host, Drew, Secret Prepper, here on the Secret Prepper channel. Thank you everyone for joining us. Where we our campfire catch-up. We're talking about prepping, survival, live prepping and live survival chat. So we can talk about whatever we want, basically, and a few updates of what's been going on, what I've got coming up, and so on. So thank you to each and every one of you fine people who are live with us right now. Wolfpack in the house. Robert McNamara kicking it off live in the first in the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, my man. Great to see you. Sandy, great friend of mine. Good to see you, my lovely. One of our moderators as well. Evening all. What a week so far, eh? We'll be looking into that and more. And next up, I think, was Day of Survival in the house. Good evening, Wolfpack fam. Great to see you. Moderator of all moderators, Day of Survival. And yeah, so thank you to everyone here. And there's me. So, I did send a notification out on the Discord server. I'm sure, we've got some buffering-ish, maybe. Don't know. I'm showing some red bars going on with the stream data, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Yeah, I can see it coming through on the monitor. So, hopefully it'll figure itself out. Let us know if you're seeing stuttering and the audio's all right. So here's the video here that I put onto the announcements. On the announcements, you should get a notification from Discord. And this is the video that I uploaded just previously this evening, just a few hours ago, which is currently doing really well, actually. So thank you to everyone who's watched that already. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it now. Watch it after this live, but definitely do. I have put the link in the description for that video. It's a great one. Basically, I took my my Geiger counter to a nuclear power station, right? And yeah, it was a bit gnarly, let's put it that way. And I must say, it was a little bit more severe than I thought, right? Let me jump back to... I need to pull it up, basically. I'm just going to pull it up. Let's go over here. Sorry. It's a little bit lastminute.com going live, but I was just really keen to catch up with you all. And it took a little bit more time to cut together the audio and video part of the video for the nuclear radiation thing that we had rocking. But basically, this is kind of what it was.
It's screaming. Literally screaming. Check it out. Look at all the stuff in the background. Yeah, the dome's right there. How can people live near this? We are getting out of here right away.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need.
So, you'll have to go and watch it to see the rest. But, suffice to say, I'm glad I've got a Geiger counter, radiation detector. Because I tell you what an eye-opener going to a nuclear power station and seeing just how it is. And of course, you think Fukushima, you think about, you know, meltdowns and stuff like that, which, you know, people talk about solar flares and grid down scenarios. You know, one of the biggest concerns I don't talk about too much because it's a little bit gnarly is that with a solar flare and the grid going down, that does mean that virtually all nuclear power stations around the world are going to go into meltdown because they're not going to have enough power in their generators to keep things running in the cool down process. And the shutdown process takes weeks for it to cool down, so they have to remain powered. And the backup generators that these nuclear power stations have just aren't substantial enough to keep, or the fuel supply for them just isn't enough. And that was part of what happened with Fukushima, was that the initial earthquake took out actually the backup generators, yeah. And then when the tsunami came in, that took out the main grid, and so that meant, well, you know the rest, right? So one of my biggest concerns is with a grid down scenario is that, of course, where you've got the nuclear power stations all around the world, they're all going to go into meltdown theoretically, right? So, you know, it's something worth considering or not, if you know what I mean, right? So in this video, I basically take you through, we were going to see friends anyway, over in this side of the country, a Sizewell power station. So I thought I'll take my little Geiger counter with me. And just to see if I could, what the radiation's like there compared to at home. This is what it sounds like at home, you see. My Geiger counter so we could find out. Before we set off though, I took a measurement of the normal background radiation. You can hear the pips. At home. You can hear the odd radioactive particle hitting the sensor every few seconds. This is considered a safe level. So that's basically what that's what it should sound like, right? But yeah, and I've linked a couple of Geiger counters. There's one that I'd really like for myself, actually, which is the perfect one to go in the bug out bag, right? And it's an important thing because it's one of those silent, deadly, major health risk things, a little bit like carbon monoxide. You know, there's a reason why we need to have carbon monoxide sensors in our house. Because obviously it's an invisible threat that you don't know is there, particularly if you're cooking indoors. And I've always said to people, if you've got any gas cooking, candles even burning inside, and diesel heaters and things like this, really important to have carbon monoxide sensor because it's really difficult to know. By the time the symptoms hit you and you're knocked out, it's already too late is the problem. It doesn't smell like anything. And I see radiation being very similar. Do you know what I mean? You can't see it, you can't taste it. And to a degree, you can't feel it unless it's like super intense to the point where you're going to be unalived within 60 seconds anyway, kind of thing, right? But yeah, so that's basically what that video is all about. I have linked in the description. Do make sure you watch it. Give it some momentum. It'll be good to see it blow up, so to speak. So thank you, everyone, for your support on that. So great to see you all in the chat. Did I just see my darling Della? I think I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. Put your DNA on that like button, then it just. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, do hit the like button, please. That does help the stream get put out to other people. YouTube doesn't usually put my videos out to more than about 4 people, so particularly live streams. But never heard a Geiger counter sound like that, and I worked around nuclear material until your skin melts off, innit? Not a good look. Not a good look. What's that film that really did me in when I was a young lad? Was it RoboCop? Is there something like RoboCop where the dude gets done in acid or something and his face is dripping off? What's that? Ends up looking like Freddy Krueger. Yeah. Carbon dioxide is different to carbon monoxide. I think you're talking about carbon monoxide, which is what you get from burning fossil fuels, yeah? And then carbon dioxide is what we breathe out, which equally, if that builds up too high, then you will, right? A good example of that is people who think, I'll tell you something else, a free tip as well. Free Sigma Prepper Quick Tips. I've got a brand for that. Not a brand, but we're in my ebook that I'm writing at the moment. In fact, I might as well show you it. This particular thing I'm talking about. It's probably easier to show it in the page in the book than it is to dig it out of my files. And I can zoom in. We have the... Oh, actually, no. Do you know what? Let's not do that. Better than that. So, quick tip. Anyway, quick tip, right? Is... a lot of people unalive themselves when they think they're going to survive in a cave, right? So, people go, oh, if it all kicks off, I've got a cave I'm going to go to, right? Now, caves are a problem because carbon dioxide, which is what we breathe out, not carbon monoxide, which is the result of burning fossil fuels. And so carbon dioxide, which is equally as fatal, what you find is that it sinks down low. So when people go into a cave and they get down low, it's where all the carbon dioxide sinks down. In some caves you can have it looks like we got some stream issues, have we? Alley Cat's prepared life in the house, great to see you. Tonette in the house as well, great to see you. Sorry, there was some stream buffering going on tonight. But anyway, so people actually pass out and end up ultimately unaliving themselves where they're crouching down going through a cave. And what they don't know is that that's where all the carbon dioxide sinks down to and there's no oxygen down there and they literally suffocate. Not underwater though, right? They drown. They drown in a cave, right? 5x5 here says Day Survival. Thanks, my darling. I had my buddy heater, which I thought you could use inside. Yeah, I mean, buddy heaters are those ones that run on propane gas canisters, for those that aren't aware. And yeah, anything butane, propane, diesel, petrol, gasoline, paraffin, Jet A1, kerosene, you name it, right? Anything fossil fuel like that, when you're burning it, will release an amount of carbon monoxide. And so a carbon monoxide sensor, preferably one that shows you on a little digital display how many parts per million you're seeing. There are certain levels. In fact, in my book, again, there's a whole thing on there about what's a safe level or not, right? And that's usually set out by the, in America, they call it the, Daily Survival will help me on this one, if not anyone else. The thing that takes care of all the workplace health issues, yeah? The I forget even what the UK version of it is, but they set the standard to what they consider to be a safe level of what do you call it? Sieverts per minute. Do you know what I mean? In terms of what dose is okay over a certain amount of time and over an 8-hour work period. Department of Work or something like that it is. I forget what it's called. But I tell you what, I've had some good news. OSHA, is it? That's it. I've had one of our Sigma Prepper live quizzes. Yeah, survival quizzes that I was doing, which I will start back up again soon. Once the live number of people gets above 40 on a live stream, we'll be kicking back off with the full Ultimate Sigma Prepper live show. The live show for preppers. Which was going so well, but it's a very expensive show to produce regularly. So once we start getting our subscribers and our Patreon members, thank you to the VIP Wolfpack. I really appreciate the Patreon members. It's up and down a bit. I think a lot of people's billing issues are occurring again. So I didn't show the list of VIP Patreon names because it might not include you and should, or vice versa, right? So yeah, thank you, Daily OSHA. So the thingy bob for health and services, basically, right? And they say like a maximum dose that is allowable or healthy, and you know that they're changing these numbers all the time. They've done that in the UK to say what the background radiation level is to what they consider to be safe or normal. You notice they change that over time, and there's a reason for it, right? I mean, there's more and more radiation going on more and more around us all the time, not less. And that's not even. And really, I'm talking about ionizing radiation. There's a difference. Ionizing radiation is stuff like gamma rays and things which can break down your DNA, right? And you've got non-ionizing radiation, which is things like alpha and beta waves, which aren't as bad for you and easier to block out. But things like gamma rays and X-rays, I mean, you're talking like a whole meter of soil, a meter of earth, just to reduce the radioactivity dose by 50%, right? So people who think they're going to get in their garage or in their basement or something, you know what I mean? Because again, you're breathing in the air, right? You're breathing in the air around you, which is going to be radioactivated, let's say, yeah? But I do link a couple of, in that video, which is linked in description, I do link a couple of, this one here is the one I was talking about. This is the one I'd have in my bug out bag. Look how small it is, look. And this does, I'm going to have to play it because it's only on there for a second, look. So this one here goes in your bug out bag. This is the one I'd like to have. It's got a little OLED display as well that shows how many sieverts per hour, and it tells you what the dose is over time. So you could wear that, do you know what I mean? And then it would monitor how much you've been dosed with over your day or week or something if something did kick off, right? And this is a slightly more advanced one. This one's about $100. So that last one was only $40, right? But this one looks really cool. And that's, of all the ones that I've researched and looked at, that's the one I would get, to be honest, as the homestead. The one that's sort of like on next to my carbon monoxide detector and stuff as well, right? But anyway, so do check out that video. It was a fair old time to put that together, even though it's not that, it's only a short one. So I hope that does well and gets out to a bunch of people. But I tell you what, I've got some news that I've got to tell you because I'm really desperate to do what my next move is. You can use them inside, just have carbon monoxide, well, and have the window open as well daily. But more importantly, you definitely need the exhaust going outside, right? Like I've got in my off-grid office here, I've got a diesel heater and what used to be a cat flap there. I've built a marine ply plate template that goes over the cat flap, and I've taken the cat flap gubbins out, right? And I've lined it with, you know, silver aluminum foil tape to heat proof it on the cavity. And I've put a wooden plate on there so that the exhaust pipe from my diesel heater passes out and outside where the cat flap used to be. Yeah, so I get my exhaust out of there, but I still have a carbon monoxide sensor inside just because if the gasket starts leaking or something like that, right? But other than that, yeah, diesel heaters are perfectly, like in the living room. We've got one in the living room which I need to service. I'm going to video me servicing my diesel heaters. and I'm going to be doing, putting them on Sigma Prepper so you can check out what's going on. Because I'm going to need to replace the gasket and clean out some coking that's happened inside one of them. Just all sooted up and stuff. And when the soot builds up to a certain level, it acts as an insulator on the furnace structure. So I'll do a video on that and show you what I'm doing. But in the living room, we've got a chimney fireplace. And so what I've done is I've got a exhaust pipe that I've got a 90 degrees angle, comes out the side and goes literally up the exhaust pipe, up the chimney, right, the exhaust. And I mean, the exhaust is nice and clean. It's not smoky or anything, so it's pretty healthy. Not healthy, but as in it's not, you can tell how cleanly it's burning and efficiently, right? Which is important. The more smoke you've got coming out, the more unburnt fuel that is, so it's not running efficiently. You could be using more fuel than you actually want to be. I made the mistake of using a flare in a huge cave. Again, that's going to burn all the oxygen as well, isn't it, Robert? Yeah. I was talking about the buddy heater. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can use the buddy heater inside, but really, as long as you've got a little window open or something. You need to have ventilation either way, because it will build up. Tonette there saying, we have an all-electric home, but we have power outages. We use kerosene heater and definitely use it, yeah. So what you would say, a kerosene heater is basically a similar thing to what we're talking about. Get a canary, says Happy Limpet. Absolutely amazing. Great to see you, my lovely. Great to have you with us. Is that the first time you've jumped in, is it? I don't think... oh, hold on. I missed one here from Della. If you go in a cave and light a match or lighter and flame... Oh, yeah, again. Good one, Della. Good one. Thank you. It's lovely to have you with us, everyone. You'd have to get a lot like magicians with doves. On it. 20 ordered. Need feed, I guess. Brilliant. Where's your keto and keto warm? Don't forget to in the UK, classic Sandy, like it. Don't forget to register your canaries if you're in the UK, because you know they came out with that new chicken registration thing, right? Poultry registration. Even if you've got one chicken, and it includes other stuff as well, right? And you know why that is, right? Because they're going to kick off some bird flu thing and then round people up and send people around to go exterminating all your chickens. So God forbid people be self-reliant, feed themselves and keep themselves sustained without the government's help and without Tesco's and Asda and Walmart's help, innit? Dear oh me. Right, so we got a bunch of stuff we've got to be getting through, but the first thing I really want to do, which I'm gagging to do because I'm gagging and you'll see what I mean in a secondo, mi amico. One of the things that I launched very recently, which I didn't really talk about officially, is the new merch store for Sigma Prepper, linked in description below. So you got official Sigma Prepper merch now, and there's a bunch of new stuff. So we've got the first 30 products on there ready to rock and roll, including the Ultimate Hotspot is on there as well, right? Same prices directly from the sigmaprepper.com website. But we've got the official featured, yeah, is the official Sigma Prepper toasting mug, yeah. And that's the one that I ordered as my official mug for the show, and here it is. And I haven't taken a sip out of it yet, so I can christen it with my friends here. The Sigma Prepper Wolf Pack, thank you so very much for joining me. Thanks for allowing this, you know, helping me to build this channel the way we have and build the community the way we have. We've got such a great bunch of friends in the chat and live and those on the Discord server. Thank you so very much for being a big part of this. Thank you for sharing in this as well. Again, now you can share in it too with your own Sigma Prepper merch. Check it out. Look at the beautiful blue eyes and everything. Yeah, it's the same. You got the domain URL on the side, look, which is kind of designed so that when I'm this way round and I'm drinking, it's at the right angle to read it, right? More. And then you've just got the same on that side, right? There's other ones that have got quotes and other things. We'll check them out. But cheers, everyone. Thank you for being with me. Love, peace, and progress to the pack. Cheers. Thank you, everyone. Yummy. The merch store is officially open. So, yeah, we've even got insulated mugs as well, look. Travel mugs. So these come out nice. A little bit more pricey because of course they're stainless steel, they're insulated and so on, plus you've got the sippy cup lid and stuff like that as well, but they're beautiful. And all the stuff that I've got here is 9 out of 10 plus stuff, right? And check it out, we've got the full range of survival instincts, right? Now this is from my ebook, right, which I'm writing at the moment. I've got one chapter left, Surviving World War III. So but basically what these are do you know the survival instincts? The freeze, flight, fight, fawn and flow. The main four, and then flow is the ability to use those strategically at the right time rather than just knee-jerk panic reaction, right? But so basically what we got here is on which is what will face people. Yeah, my survival instinct is freeze, analysis, paralysis and progress, right? So they're sort of like good for the workplace as well. And then you got the character on the side, look, and then you just got the Sigma Prepper logo, wolf facing you here, look, as you're drinking if you're right-handed. Reject the herb, prepare the pack. So that's that's the freeze one. And then we've got flight, right? So if everyone identifies differently to their own unique survival instinct, right? My survival instinct is flight. I call it strategic retreat. Yeah. And you got matey boy running about, right? And of course you got the same one facing you there, consistent. So that's the flight. And then you got the fight. This one come out nice. Spent a long time on these characters. Again, it was for the ultimate prepping guide that I'm releasing soon and publishing soon. So it all ties in with the ebook, which is great. My survival instinct is fight. Bring it on. And again, you could have each one of these in your cupboard at work, right? Depending what mood you're in. I already know Purple Flurple. This is what Purple Flurple would have. The fight one. I can tell you that already. It's funny actually, because I could probably tell you what each one of the Wolfpack members would have as their survival instinct, right? So my survival instinct is fawn. The art of saying yes and meaning no. Classic. I know a lot of you out there, no names mentioned, are like that. Yeah, I've got a bit of fawn in me, but it tends to be used genuinely, but also strategically, because that's the whole point of the flow, which is the ability to figure things out, think things through logically, not resort to panic. Flow, navigating chaos with a clear mind, right? That's what it's all about. So not just knee-jerk reacting with your survival instincts, as most people will do one of these things, but instead to use those instincts strategically and use the freeze to take stock of what's going on. Because again, if you just flight straight away, if you just panic run, you could be running into a dead end or into the line of fire or towards the wildfire, not away from it. Do you see what I'm saying? And equally, if you launch in there with fight straight away with a situation, then you may cause some sort of violent issue that may not needed to have happened. But sometimes fight is needed in terms of to not be so this is the point of it anyway. So you got the survival instincts series, and they're basically in there a few times because you got them in the 20-ounce mega mug size. This is the mega mug size, which is 20 ounces, so it's a bit of a big old boy, right? They're the most premiumist, officialist big ones, right? Which has come out beautifully. I'm really pleased with it, right? That's this one here. So, but you've got those in 20 ounce, but you've also got them in 15 ounce, slightly smaller mugs in white, and you've also got them in black, and these are beautiful. I'm really looking forward to getting myself a black one. It's just not in the budget at the moment. Streamlabs.com/Sigma Prepper if you want to go towards my mug fund so I can even buy one of my own mugs. Oh dear. But anyway, so these come out nice on black as well, right? And again, you just got the same Sigma Prepper logo but in reverse. and the same characters there, look, but on the black, and the black are 15 ounce as well. So I've literally sourced the best of the best from everything I can find, right? And you've got lots of options, and of course then again, as I did mention last week, actually, we've got these camping cups as well, which are great. These are like 12 ounce, which is a nice size, and they're steel enamel, so you can whack them on the fire. They're good for alkaline, acid proof, you know what I mean? And it's like whack them on the wood burning stove, and they're good to go. So I'm definitely going to get myself one of them as well. A few people have grabbed one of them already. I'm looking forward to getting my own. So the merch store along with the mugs is officially open. Cheers to that, everyone. Thank you to the 3 orders, or 3 people that have made their order so far. I really appreciate you. And the prices are pretty trimmed down as much as possible, so I don't really make epic money out of it, like between $4 and $7 on each item, right? Because Etsy take their fees and so on. But it's more about getting it out there and supporting the brand and supporting the channel and getting the name out there. And I've got loads more designs coming for you as well. So go and have a look, see what you think. Links in description of this video. And cheers, everyone. Let us know your thoughts in the live chat and in the comments below if you're watching this afterwards. It'd be good to hear what your opinions are. No one's really seen them yet until now, so exclusive merch store. Thank you, Survival Day Survivor, getting it in the chat. Thank you, Della. Cheers, Roberto, Maximomi, Amico. Nice sweater jumper. Yeah, usually I have this up like that, and it's like roll neck styly. Do you like it up more than down, Tonette? Yeah. got my Sigma pendant. Look. Got my Sigma pendant. It's not the one where the eyes light up. That's up there. That's still in prototype production. Talking about prototype production, got some circuit boards down here I want to talk about later on. And my little wireless surveillance camera system, right? That includes the batteries. That's everything in there, right? I've got something to say about that a little bit later as well. We're going to have a break. We need an excuse for a break time so we can come back and have an official toast. Cheers. With the Single Prepper merch. Oh, it's so lovely. Look how beautiful it is. Yeah? Come on, don't tell me that's not beautiful. They're manufactured in America or Canada, so the shipping's going to be more preferential for the native price of everything is in US dollars. But yeah, so the shipping's going to be preferential for people living in America. I mean, I had to take the hit on it to get one, and it's not too severe. So yeah. Robert's one of our first customers, in fact, in the whole wide world. And do remember, if you do get anything from the merch store, please do a positive review for my Etsy store. It's really important because I'm like in probation. So if I get anything out of 5 out of a million, a million out of a million, then it's bad news. So do make sure you get your, I don't know how you do it, but just it says about you need to get reviews. So please give me a positive review on my Etsy store and see if you can do that, even if you don't have to make a purchase. But that'd be really appreciated to help us rock. And I've got loads of stuff planned as well. I've got a Sigma Prepper 2025 calendar planned. Did he say what he said? He said it. So I've got to get on working on that, and I've got to get this book released as well. It's all happening. And I've got some epic videos coming up that I'm in the middle of cutting up as well in the daytime while you're all working, and I'm living on $80 a month doing this all day, every day. Oh dear. Thank you so much, Della. Yeah, Della likes bigger mugs. Do you know what? Daily Survival, I spoke to her at length about the mug situation, and do you know the problem is that 20-ounce mega mugs are so difficult to find. It took me a long time, but I'm really pleased I held out until I could offer the premium range, you know, obviously to line up with the Sigma Prepper premium brand, basically, right? It's all high-end stuff, even how I produce these shows and how I try and edit my videos to a certain level of quality, right? Everything has to be reflected, even the merch, right? So do expect the highest quality stuff, and if it's not, you know. Cool products. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Thank you, my darling. Happy Limpet. Thank you for that. Drew's mug fund donations. Whoosh, laughs me up here. Look, was the last donation from about maybe 2 months ago, I think. John's dad Hikes, thank you so very much as your latest subscriber. I think there's been more since, but it's only if you don't have your name set to private. Big shout out going to Maya in the house as well, one of our junior Wolfpack members. Great to have you with us, Maya. Love to you. Show the skin. Yeah, get it out. Do it. Yeah. I want a black 15 ounce. Yeah, do you know, I wish I could. Unfortunately, I can't get the black mugs in 20 ounce, but they're in 15. I don't even bother doing the 11 ounce. They're like baby cups. No one wants to be dealing with that. Nudie calendar. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 versions, the nudie one and the non-nudie one. The non-nudie one's gonna have like survival stuff on each month that's like critical information. Show some skin. Robert McNamara in the house. Thank you so very much for your purchase. So, we've got loads of stuff I want to talk about. We could even set up a little SHTF Intel kind of like global threat analysis report. I've got so many videos everywhere. I'm just trying to get control of my screens. This one here is what I want. Just to make sure the stream's looking okay. Okay, we're all right. We haven't got any red bars anywhere, which is always a good sign. So hopefully my new video that I uploaded is doing well out there. Please, again, if you haven't seen it, do check it out. It's hopefully going to do quite well. And so, yeah, you'll see that in your feed, and it's also linked up in the description below if you've just joined us. Please hit the like button if you have just joined us, because it's just super rude not to. Thank you, my darling. And I'll tell you what, by the way, go and check out, if you go and check out the Discord server, right down here, down, exclusive merch, right? So you go down to Sigma Prepper products, which is like the last category of rooms, right? Sigma products. And you see the little gift box exclusive merch, right? In here, as well as the lyrics for the intro tune and the break time tune. Is the break time tune in there as well? That's part 2 of the intro tune. Here we go. This is the break time music lyrics, which you're going to hear in a minute. Right, so the lyrics are all in there. But this is the exclusive merch. So I just started it off with that because it will just stay at the top then. If anyone wants to refer to it, they go, whoop. That's our Wolfpack anthem, by the way. So the Etsy store is put here and is linked in here. But what I would say is if you've got any cool ideas for slogans or funny stuff, I've got a few that I've got which will be released over next week. A lot of people have asked me to do the one, the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubed. Right, so we're going to have that one as a thing. I just haven't figured out what graphic and illustration I can use for that safely. So we'll figure that out. But any slogans or anything that you think would be a great idea for like a general audience, they don't even have to be into prepping, but just funny stuff that's like safe for work and that would be good. Anyone got some great ideas, do fling them in there on the exclusive merch. This is a 2-way thing, Discord. That's the whole point of it, not just one way, right? It's about your input helping me to guide forward Sigma Prepper as to who it's for, why it's for, and so far everything's working out great and everyone's so aligned and we're all such a great bunch. No trolls, no annoying people, yeah, all intelligent people who want to understand easier how to use certain technologies and stuff as leverage as their survival chances increase, even though they're just normal Joes, normal Sigma type personalities who are quite happy to be on their own, independent, self-reliant, and just, you know, work on their own skills and their own techniques and stuff over time and their own knowledge to then allow us to be more self-sufficient and not be trying to rule everyone else, or none of us want to be ruled by anyone either. So that's what we're all about, and of course it's attracted a lot of like-minded people, which I think is why everyone gets on so great and everyone's so well aligned to what we're all about. And you know, we don't hang around with like, you know, wearing camo with like shotguns on our shoulders or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just not normal. Yeah, it's about looking normal and being normal, but being able to survive and be prepared when the crisis comes. And it's time to act, right? We know what we're doing. We've got some stuff already. We don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to go shopping. We don't need to go and get amongst it needlessly and put ourselves in danger. That's the point, right? It's easy stuff, really. So what we're going to do is, how long have we been streaming? Oh, 38 minutes. I was aiming for 30 minutes, but that's all right. So that's cool. We're going to have a short break where I'm going to go and get a really deep brew. Drew's going to get a rebrew. Cheers, everyone. I waited so long to say cheers in the first place because I was babbling on about a blimmin' radioactive radiation detectors I took to the nuclear power plant in the last video on my feed. I spent so long talking about that, I couldn't, it's obviously, let me know if I'm wrong about this, but it's unlucky, a little bit like when you get poured your champagne at a wedding, you're not supposed to take a sip of it until you've done the cheers. Let me know if I'm right about that, but I feel the same way every time I get a cup of tea, and I'm really sentimental like that, right? So that's why I literally couldn't take a sip out of it until I said about this is my new merch cup and cheers. First thing, otherwise it wasn't going to be christened the right way sentimentally for me. Cheers, everyone. Right, so anyway, we're going to go on a short break. Don't go anywhere because we've got loads coming up. Like I say, I want to show you a bunch of stuff I've been working on, some ideas I got, and what it means for you guys. And of course, this follows on as well from my PIR motion sensor wild camping and solo camping security system that I come up with. Just like a motion sensor doorbell wireless thing basically strapped to a couple of trees either side of my camp, and everyone seemed to really like that, so that video's done great. So thank you everyone who shared that. It really makes a difference. This is why it's important when you're watching the nuclear power station one, just share it on your social media. Yeah, just do share the little arrow, or that way for you. Yeah, share, and then just choose whatever. TikTok, Twitter, X, if you've got an account, just go bosh, share it. The icons are all there. If you got a Facebook, whatever, share it. Yeah, makes a big difference. Yeah, same. Don't want to jinx it, says Sandy. Yeah, when it comes to cheers, definitely. So we're going to do that. So don't go anywhere. We want to come back. I've got a bunch of stuff we'll talk about. We'll have a look at the headlines if there's any headlines that you want to talk about. I don't want to get into the elections because it's really dodgy and YouTube doesn't like us talking about the elections. I've got a lot to say about it, but I think I'm gonna save that for the after parties and things like that on Discord, which is one of the great benefits of being a VIP Patreon member. So thank you to you, and I really enjoy our after party catch-ups over on the Discord server, which if you are new to that, you'll find over here. We've got the VIP category of rooms, the VIP Wolfpack rooms, the VIP text chat, and the voice chat, where we all get to hear each other and talk normally. So that's one of the perks of being a VIP member. Patreon.com/SecretPrepper. Links in the description below. But in the meantime, we're going to be getting ourselves a little break time to get ourselves a rebrew. And I shall see you back here in a minute. Don't go anywhere, because I'm not. Welcome back. Part 2. Partner. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Here in the house, back again with your boy Drew. Secret Prepper. The only live show for preppers, survival enthusiasts, the prepping chat live, the only one who does it like this. Yeah, that's how we do. If you haven't learned the words of that tune yet, yeah, all the way through, yeah, that's like lich 6 minutes. Was about 5 minutes and 50. I was going to say I could do with it being a bit longer, because I'll tell you what, it's literally not long enough to even make tea. Look, it's sitting here brewing with a spoon on top. I still need to take the tea bags out. So it's tight, but it's a one-man band, right? Everyone's asleep here. It's like gone midnight, yeah? So Magic Hand's asleep, so she can't like be watching and then make a cup of tea in time. So I'm just stirring it and brewing it now, and then we'll be ready to do our Sigma Prepper cheers. Let's make sure. Hold on. But thank you for joining us. Please hit the like button if you've just joined us. Got lots to talk about. We'll make sure it doesn't go on too long though. Because I gotta get some stuff prepared for tomorrow's show, which is going to be a Halloween spesh. Halloween spesh. We're ready to rock and roll on the tea is brewed. So we're going to be talking about what I'm making here and what this little circuit's going to do. To do with like surveillance and ting. There's another little one here I've made up. So we got that coming up. What else? There's loads of other things as well. But so don't go anywhere. Thank you for joining us. What we need to do is to do a propose a toast. So thank you to everyone with the official merch cup. The official Sigma Prepper merch mug. This is the mega mug, by the way. Cheers to everyone. The Sigma Prepper merch is now officially open on my Etsy store along with everything else. So thank you everyone. Love, peace and progress to this beautiful, wonderful wolf pack. Cheers. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for being who you are, everyone. I really appreciate sharing this time with you. And, of course, with everything going gnarly in the world, it's just lovely to have a place that we can come to, be together, talk about what we think is going on, talk about what it means, but more importantly, how we can protect ourselves from it. And even if it's given ourselves a sense of security to know that, you know what, we know how to deal with stuff when the time comes. And, yeah. In the chaos of survival, your mind is a shield. Yeah. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. So over on the exclusive merch Discord page, which is down at the bottom there, right? There's all the words there. Look how much it is. I spent a week producing this tune. There's all that. These are all different. I mean, apart from the chorus, obviously, is the same, right? But this is a bridge breakdown one, right? That's like separate. Or you've got chorus there. You've got verse 3, and there's a lot there. Look, and then you got the break time one. These are all unique words as well. The chorus is shared. But so that's a lot to, I don't think anyone's going to be able to do that off by heart all the way through the break time music. It's very unlikely. Did I hear a little ching 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 popping along on my Drew Law phone? Cha-ching. Della's one of our Sigma Prepper merch customers over on the Etsy store. Thank you, my darling Della. I can't see what you've ordered or anything, but thank you for your custom. And just to know that Sigma Prepper and I, through extension of that, will exist on your desk somewhere in your life, Della, is nice. This is why I didn't want to make the prices outrageous like some people charging $40, $50 for a mug. It's like, what? I looked at the prices, I can charge half of that. I'm only making like $4 or $5 a pop, but I'd rather do that and lots of people have mugs, as I said earlier, right? Than like $50 a mug. It's like, what, and $100 for a hoodie? What are these people? I mean, I get it, you know, it's a great way to support the channel and stuff, but I think that's taking that's extracting the urine. Extracting the urine. Oh dear. In fact, I was going to have a look in my ebook earlier on, in the contents here actually. Oh, it's in Mental Mastery is what I'm talking about. This is the book I'm writing at the moment. This is the bit with the survival instincts, which are reflected in those mugs. So this will make sense when the book's released and you'll see the patrons will get access to it first, the VIP members. But yeah, this is the bit with the survival instincts and that, and it goes into great detail in each of them, what it's all about, how to circumvent it. The fight one there, look, you see. So you see how it ties in, those that are here for part 1, where I was showing the different range of survival instinct mugs. So there's a whole chapter that goes along with that in the book that talks about how to not be any of the first floor 4, but give it some enhance your survival responses, right? And get shit figured out basically while you got time to do it. And you know how you can increase and strengthen the fight response, for example, self-defense training, give yourself the confidence and that, adrenaline conditioning, mental toughness drills, right? So it's all in there for you. You know, practicing the fawn response, de-escalation role playing, right? So if you don't tend to do as much fawn as you'd like. So that's what it's all about. It's massive. It's 300 plus page. There's a whole thing on the OODA loot there as well, as another way to help people make good decisions with the observe, orient, decide and act loop in survival. And then you even got the Eisenhower matrix as well there with the urgent versus not urgent and important versus not important and so on, right? So it's all there, and it's really important stuff because, you know, this overwhelming stress and shock, the lack of preparedness, these are all things, the fear and anxiety, they really get in the way of making good decisions. So this is a really important chapter. I spent weeks on this one. But it was really important to me because it's so important. You know, most of the time it's people's health that lets them down in a survival situation, in a crisis, before anything else, right? They just end up falling apart, and they make silly decisions, and they make wrong moves, and they eat things they shouldn't. They react and respond to things in a way that they shouldn't have, and so on, right? And by the time in a crisis situation you've acted like that or done something like that, there's no going back a lot of the time. Every decision and every move you make needs to be the right one because there's no room for error, right? So yeah, it's all important stuff. So keeping a clear mind and making sure that you're making good decisions based on the environmental and adapt to the environmental changes, yeah, as they happen. Yeah, thank you so very much. Well, oh, sorry, secret. I've only just seen that, and I heard my Sigma phone go blah, blah, blah. Which has got the Etsy app on it. So thank you, my darling. Thank you, Daily. Cheers, everyone. It's lovely as well to know that, like, at least Robert McNamara, Danger Bob, and Della, when we do the cheers, they'll be cheersing. They'll be the only official cheers members. Cheers, my darling. Oh, yummy. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, you marvellous bunch. Isn't it lovely? Yeah. Extracting the urine. I'm assuming that we're allowed to say that, right? as an alternative. So let's get into it then. Let's clear some of these windows down. I've got a whole list of stuff I had to talk about for more of a. I think what we'll do is tomorrow on the Halloween special. I was actually looking in my folder of thumbnails, and I'm sure I did a Halloween special before. Year anniversary. I'm sure I had a thumbnail that was already done up for Halloween, but obviously not. I mean, this is part of the Halloween set location here. Of course, you've got some pumpkins here and stuff, right? But tomorrow we're going to have a Halloween special, which will be a monster show. We'll have quotes, we'll have memes, we'll have a full SHTF Intel Global Threat Analysis report, yeah, live, and it'll be a monster marathon sesh. So we got all that coming tomorrow. I'll get that probably scheduled tonight. I'll maybe try and get it scheduled early, right? So we've got a lot going on tomorrow. That'll be a great show. We'll also, I'm not going to promise anything, but if we're good little girls and boys and we attract enough live guests, I will try and make sure I've got a live Sigma Prepper survival quiz, yeah, ready to go, yeah. So if we get enough peeps live with us tomorrow by sharing tomorrow's Halloween special live, right, and you'll see it scheduled tomorrow. If that gets shared out and enough people join us, then we'll have a full-blown show including the Sigma Prepper quiz, right? That's my pledge to you. So we'll see how it pans out, but that's the plan for tomorrow, Thursday, the 31st of October, 2024, Halloween Spesh, Sigma Prepper. This will be the place to be. Tell your friends. Yeah, Sandy has one. Sandy got one through Patreon. Patreon was doing a merch thing where it would come out of my Patreon fees and they would be sent some merch. But the mugs that they were being sent out were really small and like delicate, not like mega mugs like I've sourced here for Sigma Prepper through my store now, the official merch, right? So, but Patreon ended up doing some weird stuff with that merch and they let a lot of people down, and I think they had a problem with the manufacturers as well, so that all kind of went kaput. So a lot of people asking me for mugs and stuff, so now you've got them 30 options, right? Oh dear, so great. Thank you everyone, really appreciate your support. But that's going to be a great show tomorrow, like I say, Sigma Prepper quiz. I'm not sure what we've got. For those who haven't seen it, is there anybody in the live chat right now who hasn't ever seen the Sigma Prepper quiz before to even know what I'm talking about? Because it's been a while since I was doing them. And if someone gets a gift, do you know the... No, that's all right. What's Ooh, I Hope So? I totally mixed up with what that's to do with now. But yeah, so tomorrow, I hope so, yeah, with a Single Prepper quiz. So, should be a good show tomorrow. So we'll look out for that. I'll, obviously, I'll need to schedule it, come up with a thumbnail for it and so on. And you'll see that on my feed. And I'll launch that on Discord. You haven't seen the Single Prepper quiz? We might have to see about that in there, because I'm interested to see where we left off with the Single Prepper official Prepper quiz. And here it is, the Single Prepper quiz, and I just seen Noelle Marie in the house. My absolute darling. You missed my whole spiel about on the Single Prepper official mugs, girlfriend. Check them out. Yeah, no messing about. Mega mugs, 20 ounces. Yeah, you know how we do. From Drew to you. Love to you, my darling. An official VIP Wolfpack member in the house. So this is basically a Single Prepper quiz where it's multiple choice ABC. This is what you're playing for, the Ultimate Prepper Award. No expense spared. Now, in the future, the idea being, right, is that when I've got sheets, which at the moment I've got 0 sheets, we're running on fumes here because YouTube's holding us back big time. That's why we need you to share it on your socials. Hear me now. But the idea being is there'd be actual live prizes given out. Yeah, I can't tell you one of the products because it's still in prototype form and no one's supposed to know it exists because everyone will try and copy it, right? So, but things like being able to send people a mug as a prize for winning the Ultimate Prepper Award, they'll get like some merch. I'd really like to do that. If we do like one a month, right? So this is basically the last. This is like the last questions that we had set up before. How to play. Don't answer your own questions one by one. Yeah. You need to set them all out in a row like this. But not exactly like this, but sort of like that, right? That's the idea. So good luck. Bada bada bada. And then we get into the questions. Get ready. Here we go. But I can't remember what they were. Here we go. What is the weight? Just for a laugh. Let's play it through. So this, everyone, okay, let's just do it properly. Everyone should theoretically get 7 out of 7 since this is one from like several months back, right? For those who haven't seen it. But tomorrow we'll have a new one on the Halloween special on the channel, right? So what is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips measured in? So don't put your ABCD in a chat now. We'll put them in there, but don't hit enter. Line them up. We want to have 7 letters. So when we get to the question number 7, you'll know we're at the end. So what is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips measured in? Is it A, grams, B, newtons, C, grains, or D, sand? A, grams, B, newtons, C, grains, or D, sand? Question number 2. Which of these battery technologies has the highest self-discharge rate? I.e., which of these battery chemistries sort of runs itself down when it's not even plugged into anything the most? You know how you go back to a battery, it's like, oh, well, that was fully charged and now it's like 50% over time. So what's the worst for that? Is it A, AGM lead acid batteries? Is it B, lithium polymer? Is it C, lithium ion? Or is it D, lithium phosphate, LiFePO4? So which of these cells basically discharges itself just from sitting there by itself the worst? Yeah. Question number 3 then. If someone is suffering with hypothermia, which of the following should not be given? If someone's suffering with hypothermia, which of the following should not be given? Is it A, hot chocolate, B, peanuts, C, raisins, or D, coffee? A, chocolate, hot chocolate, B, peanuts, C, raisins, or D, coffee? Question number 4, more than halfway there. Which of the following fuel sources, yeah, this is interesting because we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? Yeah, with carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide sensors. So question number 4, which of the following fuel sources require a CO, carbon monoxide detector for safe operation? A, paraffin, B, butane, C, propane, or D, all of them? Which of them require a CO detector for safe operations? Is it A, paraffin, B, butane, C, propane, or D, all of them? So question number 5, given an equal diameter, yeah? So assuming they're all the same diameter, right, thickness, which cordage provides the lightest and strongest ridgeline to put a tarp on, right, when you're bugging out? So what's the lightest and strongest but thinnest? Yeah. A, nylon, B, Dyneema, C, polyester, or D, polypropylene? So this is for cordage. Yeah, it's important stuff. Which is the lightest and strongest for a ridgeline? Is it A, nylon, B, Dyneema, C, polyester, or D, polypropylene? Regardless of any budget or how much it costs, doesn't matter, what's the best. Question number 6, the penultimate question. Which of the following is not a recognized type of skin suture technique, i.e. stitches? Which of the following is not a recognized type of skin suture technique? Is it A, a Brummel stitch? Is it B, a continuous? Is it C, interrupted? Or B, subcutaneous? I always get that wrong, subcutaneous. A, Brummel, B, continuous, C, interrupted, or D, subcutaneous? Which of those is not a skin suture technique? So get ready, my darling, wonderful Wolfpack. Final question coming up. So when you've seen this last one, you'll have all 7 letters ready to go bosh, and then we'll see who got the mostest, the quickest, in order. So final question then, get ready. Coming up is the final question. Once you've seen this last question, you'll be ready to enter your complete string. Here we go, bosh. Question number 7, the final question. Also a question on the Sigma Prepper website. What is said to be eaten on sticks in SHTF? What is said to be eaten on sticks in SHTF? So this is like the corporate thing. There's even a mug in the merch store, link below, that's got this on it. A, rats, B, squirrels, C, snakes, or D, cats? Which of these is featured on the Sigma Prepper homepage and said to be eaten on sticks? Is it A, rats, B, squirrels, C, snakes, or D, cats? And that's all you got, so get your answers in there. Daily Survival, first one in the house. Now, we don't know if these are correct or not. We're going to go through the answers in a minute. But the first answer in so far is Daily Survival, followed by Robert McNamara in the house with his answer. You can see it differs from Daily Survival, so we don't know who's the most correctorist. Look at look at Sandy though. She's got exactly the same as Daily Survival. Amphir there's got know something different again. Saying, oh, time's up, rubber ducks. You can still keep getting your answers in though. Never fear. Never fear. So, what we need to do is to check out the answers. Uh, 5 seconds. So let's find out who's the winner. That's all right, it's fine. We've got plenty of time because the answers are coming in. It's only that once we show the actual answers which come up next, it will be cheating then, because you could have just obviously just entered it in from the answers, you'll see. But I'm going to have a sip of my tea from my official Sigma Prepper merch cup. Mega mug, 20 ounces, no messing about. Premium stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And those in between. Oh. Cheers, you beauties. Cheers, you beauties. Never fear, Drew is here. Drew with his brew. You know how we do. Yummy yum yums. Right, so here we go then. Sorry, time up. Not me for sure, says Robert. How do you know? We're just about to find out. So let's have a look at the answers then. So the first one was, what is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips measured in? It's grains. It's grains. Now I know for a fact that Mr. Robert McNamara is going to know exactly what this is. Yes, indeed, he knew it. C, grains. There's no way he wasn't going to know. It looks like everybody knew that. Look, Amphir was right on the money. So was Daily Survival, whose answer was the first in the chat on this occasion. Stella as well had C. And Michael. Great to see you, Michael. And Happy Limpet. Look, nicely done. Guess I missed number 2. How do you know, Della? We haven't got to number 2 yet. Is that because your answer differs from other people's number 2? They said A and you said C. Well, let's find out. Question number 2. Which of these battery technologies is a high self-discharge rate? This is lead acid, like car batteries and RV leisure batteries and stuff. They're like the worst I mean, literally in like 2 weeks, if you leave a car battery sitting there, you know how it is, right? You come back to your car. If it's been sat there on holiday, you go on vacation for 2 weeks, you come back, and that's the end of it, right? That's your AGM lead acid for you. Lithium polymer's pretty good. Lithium ions, pretty good. Lithium phosphates, actually slightly better. But I'll tell you what's one of the best is lithium nickel metal hydride, which is like the Eneloop AA, AAA type battery chemistry. Nickel metal hydride. NIMH, whatever people call it. Nickel metal hydride, that's why the Eneloop AA batteries and stuff and AAAs, they stay on there like 2 years, like 80% capacity after 2 years of storage, i.e. in 2 years time, if you measure the capacity in that Eneloop AA battery, it's going to be 80% of what it was 2 years before. I mean, that's well impressive. Especially compared to a lead acid battery that will be flat in a month. So question number 3, and let's have a look who had that right. So in fact, yeah, you had C, lithium ion. But yeah, I think a lot of people got A. Looking good. Already got an excuse, innit? Gotta be. Oh, my finger slipped. Oh no, that was supposed to be for question number 3. Yeah. Happy Limby's got an answer in there. So far you're 1 for 1, which is good. So question number 3 then, nearly halfway there, which is the one about the hypothermia, right? What shouldn't it be given? And the answer here is coffee, because caffeine is real bad news for what symptoms you're already undergoing with hypothermia. Caffeine, whether it's tea, coffee, whatever, Monster, don't be doing that. You know what I mean? Or something. Red Bull, don't be doing that, yeah? In fact, hot chocolate is what's recommended. Hot chocolate is the one that you want to be giving them if they got hypothermia, because the calories are good, whereas the coffee, the caffeine has the opposite effect in the way the arteries react to it, and what you need to have going on. So yeah, important one that. Don't give anyone coffee if they got hypothermia is the rule to know from that. So question, who had that right, by the way? Did everyone have that right? Because I didn't know this before I researched it for the show, for the quiz, right? But it looks like everyone knew it, which is good. Don't forget, this is an original. This one's the same one from a few. We're just doing a dry run because tomorrow the Halloween special is going to be a new set of questions and that, right? So it's good to do a dry run with everyone on our previous one months and months ago. It was long enough ago for people to forget. It's like when you watch a movie, right? You shouldn't forget though. You should just know this stuff, right? That's the whole point of the Sigma Prepper quiz. Yeah. So question number 4, which of the following fuel sources, of course this is a bit of a trick question because all of these are fossil fuels, and we talked about that in part 1, didn't we? Talking about diesel heaters and stuff, so it's funny that came up here. Not all chocolate has caffeine in it. Maybe the stuff you have in America does. But yeah, so this is all of them basically because they're all fossil fuels and they're all going to be releasing nasty carbon monoxide, which is CO. CO2 is two of them, dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what you breathe out, which is equally bad for you if there's no oxygen. But yeah, bad news, all of them. So just get yourself a CO detector. Do you know what? It's funny actually, because before we came, just literally when the countdown was on 10 seconds coming back from break time after part 1, I'd realised I don't actually have my carbon monoxide detector in here. It's in the living room. Or in the kitchen. There's one in the living room as well, and I don't seem to have it in here. Well, I mean, I don't have the diesel heater going right now, so there's nothing in here that would be releasing anything. It's off-grid solar power and battery bank and stuff, so it's fine. But yeah, I definitely need to make sure I get that in here. And it's got a little readout, little LCD display, tells how many parts per million it's picking up. So question number 5 then, we had given an equal diameter, which is the best cordage in terms of lightest and strongest for the given diameter, and this one's Dyneema. Beautiful stuff. I bought a roll of it, 20 foot or something for my Ridgeline, maybe more. It's really, really lightweight. I think it's like 1.75 millimeters, like less than a 16th of an inch or something, right? So, and it's stronger than paracord, and it doesn't stretch. It's much more taut. It's great. I had a slightly much thicker length that I'd bought before I realised how strong and thick it was. I thought that's a little bit heavy duty for what I need for my my tarp for my solo camp, right? My stealth camp, which again there's a video showing my PIR system, which features that. I've got a new video coming up actually for my wild camp, which is my complete setup tour with all the camo netting, rocking with it and everything, right? It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to getting that finished. I might better get it finished this week, but I need to get a chapter of that book finished as well. It's all up against it, but at least we've got the merch out there finished, at least finished for the time being. I need to get the 2025 official Sigma Prepper calendar sorted out as well in time. But cocoa beans contain caffeine. I think they probably could, but I mean, that's what, like, you know, the medical health professionals recommend is the hot chocolate for hypothermia. But as Della mentions, do make sure, because some of them can contain caffeine if that's what you're looking to avoid with hypothermia, if it's like a mocha chocker or something like that going on, right? But do always read the label. So question number 6, which of the following is not a recognised type of skin suture? This one's Brummel. Now, I did mention there's a video on my channel showing my ultimate Sigma Prepper survival kit. Yeah, medical kit, which I went through. I bought the case as a empty case, and then I changed everything around and put my own stuff in that I'd bought individually. It's absolutely ram-packed, so do watch that video. It was a live that I did, so you'll see it on my channel under the lives. It's a great one. I went through everything in there, and one of the things that I'd also bought, because when I did a survey, I did a live poll last week, and I asked the question, what were people's weaknesses in survival and preparedness knowledge, right? And the two losing things that were voted for were the off-grid energy supply side of things, you know, like solar, electronics, USB, 12 volt, 24 volt, and everything to do with all that was one of them. And the other one was medical and health knowledge. And so again, that was not really always one of my specialities. I'm an electronic engineer and prototype product designer as what I do in sales marketing type stuff. So medical and health, I've always been quite healthy, touch wood. I'm very fortunate in that way. Good genes, I guess. But because of that, I've never had to rely on pharmaceuticals. I've never had any of the you-know-whats. Not any. I think maybe one. No, not even one. I don't think I've ever had any, basically, right? And I don't even take ibuprofen or anything. If I get a headache, I just deal with it. Man up. Sigma up. So because of that, I've never needed to know a bunch of stuff. And in fact, I've learned actually more from our wolf pack here about certain things that were some of my deficits in survival knowledge. And that's the whole point of this community, is that everyone's got their own. My expertise is really in things like the security and protection. I used to run a security business, and also obviously the electronics and off-grid side of it, since that's my background and things as well. So there's certain things that I'm pretty handy with, ham radios and things as well, but there's certain things that I specialize in, so I'm very good at, and I can leverage those technologies to help others, to give them you know, get them ahead of the crowd and stuff. But hit the wrong one for that. Got Dyneema for my crossbows and compound bow. Yeah, for my Ridgeline, it's beautiful. It's so thin and light. It's incredible. It's made such a difference to my pack weight. So yeah, but anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to do is to learn how to do suturing, skin suturing. This is why I came up with this quiz question, because it was just fresh in my mind. I showed it in that video I was talking about, the ultimate first aid kit, that's on my channel. And in there, I did talk about where I've got a suturing kit with a silicone skin sample with cuts in there that I'm going to learn to stitch up with all the techniques using all the tools and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. I should be all right at it. I'm good with my hands as a prototype engineer, electronic engineer, soldering and making little circuits like this, you know, fiddly watchmaking things. So I'm hoping I enjoy it, right? And I'm going to try and learn it, and then I'm going to help teach everybody else in a simple way. I'll learn from like some really high-tech sort of top surgeon. I've got 3 or 4 videos put by in a playlist. They're like designed for top surgeons to follow. I'm going to try and figure that out to a certain level, and then it'll be easier for me to then teach it to you in a really simple way using the analogies I use and illustrations and samples, right? So that's the idea. So I got to learn first, and then I'll be passing that on to you. So then the last question we had then was what's said to be eaten on sticks. on that. Everybody should know that now, including the fact that it's also on one of the mugs as well. Yes, this is the homepage of the website. Look, when shit is the fan, don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. Right, but there is also is it this one? There's one of the black mugs, and I quite would like this one actually, to be honest with myself. So you've got this black mug here, look, that's got the caption on it with the campfire, if I can get back round. So when I say chef, don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. So again, that was squirrels. So in that case, what we should be seeing is CADDBAB. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already. Yeah. So who? And look at that. I was just looking. Who was the first name with the correct answer? And it looks like it is Daily Survival with no other than a complete ultimate win of 7 out of 7. You can't get any better than that. Daily Survival in the house, as well as the moderator of all moderators. 7 out of 7 ultimate win for this ultimate Sigma Prepper quiz. Nicely done. Nicely done, Robert, as well, with 6 out of 7. And well done to anyone who did better than 1 out of 7, basically. And of course, this is all about learning something new, is more importantly. And if it's helped you learn anything, then that's been the point of the quiz. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, because there's a few people who had never seen the Sigma Prepper quiz. Let me know if you like all of my artwork and graphics and music and everything it took to create this segment. I spent an awful lot of time in it, but we'll have a proper one tomorrow on our special Sigma Prepper Halloween 2024 show. So we'll get new quiz questions for tomorrow, so don't miss that. It'll be great. So thank you to everyone for playing along. Thank you to Daily Survival for being the ultimate winner. And that is how we do. Thank you, and well done to all of you. Yummy. What a wonderful bunch. Well done, Daily Survival in the house. So I hope you like it. That's basically how it goes. How long have we been going? We've been going an hour and 20 minutes. So didn't want it to be more than an hour and a half, or really more than an hour, and we're already way past it. So let me just tell you what I'm working on, right? So the idea is for those that don't know, I did put out a video on the channel, which let's jump in here. We'll do it that way. So here's the channel here, look. So this one here, yeah, with the PIR motion sensors. Do you see this is, I did a video recently on the channel. It's one of the most recent videos, apart from the nuclear power plant one that I did earlier. But this is basically my motion sensors for my sort of bug out bag, bug out solo camp security system, right? So following on from that, and I've got a link in the description here actually for the actual ones that were linked to Amazon Camping Security, right? And these are cool, they're well cheap. They're like, 20 odd bucks or whatever for 2 motion sensors and 1 receiver. So I did that video highlighting what I've done there and how it works and how I'm using it, right? And you're talking like 900 feet range wireless transmission. Yeah. So what I want to be able to do as well as that, though, there have been a few occasions where I've wanted to have a little sneaky peek outside of my solo camping, stealth camping, so I'm hidden. No one knows I'm there, right? And there is a gravel track, and sometimes I hear noises from over that way. And I want to be able to like turn a camera on, a wireless camera, so I can see if there's someone going along there or the cops or something like that, right? So I've been working on a little miniature to go along with my motion sensors, right, for my wildcam. I want to get a little security camera. So this is a tiny little one, and this is the camera, and this at the board at the back here, circuit board at the back, is a little video transmitter with an antenna on the top there, look. It's as discreet as I can make it. And I've just got another circuit board here that I've soldered up with, which is like a lithium polymer charge board. Yeah. So you've got, this is a USB-C connection, and you plug that in, and this little battery here recharges. And this is a lithium polymer cell, right? One cell. And so this little circuit board here boosts it up to 5 volt to feed into the camera. So all I've got to do is plug that in, and bosh, we're rocking and rolling. Now I calculated that this would run, this would only probably run about an hour on this little battery, right? So of course that's not ideal. Now I do have my alternative, more advanced, high quality version, which I talked about, which is like a much more hardcore camera. This is really good, quite expensive camera, this one. This is from my drone stuff back in the day, right? And I helped develop a lot of this technology for drones, so I work with this company that makes all this stuff, so I've got a bunch of it because I had to do testing on it and design changes and do the photos to add them on their website that I was also in charge of. So I've got quite a lot of cool stuff that's not really worth much to eBay, to be honest. It's like you wouldn't get much for it, but for what our purposes are, this is like a 12 volt 3-cell lithium battery, and this is a much more powerful video transmitter that'll go for a couple of miles. But again, you see, that would last maybe like 5 hours. I think I calculated 6 hours that would last constantly, maybe a bit more. No, maybe it was more than that. I think it was 2 watts that's taking, and that's a 2000. Let's just work it out. So that's a 2000 or 2 amp hour battery times 11.1 volts. It's a 3-cell lithium polymer battery. So that's basically 22.2 watts. What's the chances of that? So that silver big one there, that's a lithium polymer. That's 22.2 watts. So I was right, it is 10 hours. So basically, when I measured the current drain on the camera and the transmitter going, it's about 2 watts. So if we've got 22 watt hours, it means that, and we're using 22 watts, yeah, we've got 10 hours. And we're using 2 watts, we've got 20 hours. I'll get it right in a minute, sorry. I've got 2s and 1s going all over the place. So if you're using 2 watts, which is what this uses with the little camera, right, and you've got 22 watt hours of capacity, it means that you can run that for 10 hours. 2.2 watts for 10 hours will give you 22, right? So that could run for 10 hours all during the night, theoretically, right? But it's not very efficient because I'm using energy which I'm going to have to recharge from my solo camp bushcraft. Like when I do stealth camping, right, and bugging out, obviously I use these USB-C PD power delivery chunky ones, right? I usually take 2 of these at least, and then I've got my solar charge system that recharges those packs from the sun at the camp, so I can rotate them continuously. So I have to charge things like that from there, so I need to be careful. So that's the idea, what these little circuits are that I've been building. I haven't programmed them yet, but these are LoRa. These are LoRa transmitters, so low power long range, or long range low power transmission devices. This isn't. This is a little microcontroller, but under there, yeah, which is what the antenna's on. And I've got here a voltage and current sensor, as well as some other bits and pieces, as well as I've got like a MOSFET here, which is just like a turny-offy thing I can control from a microcontroller in the code. And so essentially what this is doing is I'm building a remote control. Whoops, there goes the mic, sorry. I'm building a remote control switch, because there's no point having the camera power on and beaming out all the time if I'm not back at camp and I'm not necessarily watching it on my little display here, which I'm planning to build into it. right? So here's the little video this is the video receiver, you see. And so essentially, I mean, I could just have that stuck to the back. It's like smaller than the size of the little 4-inch TV or whatever this is. See? And this is like literally powered off 5 volt and it takes nothing. So in the base camp, I'd have my little TV, my wireless receiver, which I'm just mocking up myself, right? This is 5.8 gigahertz frequency. And so it makes more sense that I'm building into my microcontroller system that we built into it with these, which are like wireless data transmitters basically, but these can go for 10 miles, 10-mile range, right? So the idea is what I'm doing is that I'm going to have a remote on-off switch, right? So I only need a very, very small amount of power to power this small little microchip here. Underneath this board is the actual transmission module, but this is a little microcontroller that I've got a program running on there that sends a packet of data out to say, do I need to turn on? And if it doesn't get a reply back from the master to say yes, turn on, it goes back to sleep and it keeps the power off from the camera. So this is actually the one going to be on the camera. So this is the sensor that measures the battery level, so I can remotely see. It will send that data back to say what the battery level's on all the time. But to this microchip here, this takes barely any power to run at all. So this will stay on all of the time, this microchip. And every now and again, every second or so, it will just send a packet of data to say, do I need to be on or not? And it will say no. And it will just go back to sleep. And then wait a couple of seconds and wake up, send a packet of data. It takes literally thousandth of a second. Sends a packet of data to the master. Do I need to be on? And if he says yes, because I'm currently pushing the button to say, boom, turn on, because I want to watch it, right? Next time this one says, do I want to be on? It says, yeah, you do. And this little chip here is a MOSFET, like a switch. And this is what then goes off to the camera and the transmitter. Yeah. That would go off to the transmitter here, the video transmitter, and the camera. The power would turn on to this, and now I can see in my base camp what's going on however far away, a mile or so away if I want, right? Because that video transmitter can go for a mile. And it means now that if I hear a noise or something, I can hit on, this will send a signal to tell the other thing to wake up. To be honest, this circuit board I've designed here, with my testing so far, this would run something like 3 years. 3 years on that battery in standby, waiting to be turned on, right? So it's pretty cool so far in my testing, right? There's a few code tweaks I need to do, but so far it's looking good. And so the idea being is that now, although this would only last 10 hours, that's assuming I leave it on all night long. It's pointless. I only need it to be there in case I want to check in on it to see what's going on because I heard a noise, or I've seen a car go along the gravel track and I want to see if they stop near my spot, right? So I can just go on, bosh, yeah? Which will send a packet of data to the other end saying, I need you on please, and it will turn on power to the camera, which takes a little bit of juice, and the video transmitter, which takes a lot of juice. Right, it turns them on. I might only be watching it for 5 minutes, do you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, that's all right, there's nothing there, bosh, turn it off, and then again it goes back to sleep again, saves the power, right? So theoretically that could last me like weeks on a camp where I'm just turning it on 5 minutes here, 30 seconds there. Do you understand? So that was the idea with that, because the biggest problem to solve was like, and again, this small little thing here, this small little battery version, it would mean this could run well, indefinitely really, because as long as I can retrieve that every couple of days, yeah, even this little battery on this little mini one I've mocked up, yeah, with my remote switching on, switching off, yeah, and let's say I've got 2 hours worth of battery on that little one, that's 1 watt that is, and it's 750 milliamp on one cell, so that's going to be 0.75 watts, isn't it? Is it? 750 milliamp hour times your 3.7 volt. So it's 2.7 watt hours, and we're taking about 1 watt. So yeah, about 2 hours doing a calculation, 2.7 hours theoretically I'd get out of that small little battery, because this little thing and this little transmitter only takes 1 watt, takes less power, but the range is only going to be probably 100 meters, not a mile, like I get with the big juicy one that I've created here with the big transmitter. So either way, by having 2 hours worth of battery, again, when I'm only using like 1 minute here, 30 seconds there, that's still going to last for days and days, right? Before it needs to be retrieved and recharged. So yeah, little mini monitor here. It's pretty slim. That'll fit in my bug out bag pretty easily. And again, a couple of those little camera modules. I've got 3 different designs of those that I'm prototyping with at the moment to get the best result. So I'm looking forward to that. But like I say, I just need to get the main master CPU running with this to be controlling the data backwards and forwards and turning on and off. So that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. So by my next stealth camp, not only will I have my modified PIR motion sensors, because I need to convert them into lithium rechargeable rather than AAA Eneloops, because it's a pain in the you-know-what. And it means then I can recharge them on camp with my USB, right? Battery banks. So I've got a lot planned in that area, and I will actually do some live in the lab sessions, which I've done several of before in the Signal Prepper channel, where I've done, I think on the live section down here, there's a couple of live in the lab here, live in the lab look. I think one of them's my security turret system. It'd be nice to have that on Bushcraft camp, wouldn't it? On the bugging out camp. I was building the interface design for it. This is my sentry turret, basically. This is my sentry turret. I built this from scratch, literally. I had every plate machined custom. Right, it's all my own 3D design. This is what I mean. My background is like robotic engineering, electronic engineering, product design, right? So this is my sentry drone. It's all metal construction, metal gears and everything, right? So this is me demonstrating it after I've just made a circuit board in there live as part of the live in the lab session. So these are worth checking out. So I'll be doing something like this with what I'm working on here as well. We'll do a couple of them, so it gives us an excuse to get together live and catch up and stuff. Thank you, Mike Butcher. Lovely to have you with us. I hope you've hit the like button. It's like super rude if you haven't. Thank you, Dave, for keeping the links flowing. Look at you. Good to see you all again. Good to see you too. Happy twos. Oh, the Jamesy in the house. Great to see you, my man. Great to see you. VIP Patreon member. Yeah? Our newest rejoin, I think, isn't it, Jamesy? Or did you disappear again? I don't know. I can't work it out. The numbers are up and down all over the place. And it's difficult because I'm writing my book at the moment and all the VIP Patreon names are supposed to be in the book. And I can't bring myself to pull the names out before the book is published. I'd rather have everyone's name in there, but I can't. Every time I look, it's changed and there's people disappeared and billing issues and other people have joined. It's like... What time is the show tomorrow? Good question. I'm thinking I'm going to start a bit earlier, so maybe about 8 PM UK time, which is going to be more like 2 PM Eastern time. Yeah. So starting at, right, maybe a bit later than that, maybe 9 PM, so we start a bit earlier. Right, so if people haven't got any Halloween places, parties to go to, you have now, right? You can chill with us, the Signal Prepper crew, with Drew. Oh, yes, of course. So, America, their clocks go back this weekend, didn't it? Ours was last weekend. Trying to listen in, but completely shut down. Oh, my darling. Happy Halloween, Tonette. Let us know if you can catch up with us tomorrow. That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be good to see you there if you can. No pressure if not. And I hope you've watched the... nuclear power station thingy bob video that's up there. It's doing quite well at the moment, actually. It looks like it's the best performing video so far of all time, funnily enough. I'm just looking at my stats here, look. So you see this one here, latest video performance, the caution radiation area. You see it says here 1 out of 10, so this is like the top. This is like the top. So by 2 hours and 48 minutes, which is how long it's been since I published that video, in that time, this or down the side here is what these other videos that were the best performing, how many views they had by 2 hours and 48 minutes, right? The next best one was 61, and that one's had 69. Who are misses? So, looking good. So please do, it is linked in the description below, so please do watch it after if you haven't seen it, and do give it a good like. And again, put it on your social media, because it's important for your friends and family to understand, you know, if they're living near a nuclear power station, to bear in mind the leakage, right, that I detected. And if you want to know how bad it is, do check that video out after the live. Thank you, Robert. Perhaps add a microwave body induction module, 24 gigahertz, which we're getting into ionizing radiation at 24 gigahertz. That's the fear of 5G, you see. Radar induction switch sensors, as well as Sasquatch. Can see infrared. I've got a radar. Well, I've got a human sensor radar detector, which is lich. Like X-ray thing, because it goes through walls. Yeah, they're designed to go through walls. It's like a motion sensor PIR, but instead of using passive infrared, it uses lich volumetric radar detection. So it is actually pulsing out. Like, it's about 13 gigahertz, I think it is, Ampere. You probably know the modules I'm on about. Our time changes November 3rd. Thanks for that, my darling. Is that Saturday night, 2 a.m. again then, is it? The 3rd. Yeah, Sunday morning. Okay. Alright, we'll bear that in mind. But tomorrow I'm looking at being a little bit earlier than the usual 11 p.m. UK time. Being 6 p.m. Eastern time. So the Halloween show tomorrow, we'll try and aim for maybe an hour or so earlier than that, right? So maybe 9 or 10 p.m. UK time. Oh, look at the Jamesy donating the sheets. Does this mean this is going towards my mug thing, so that I can get myself one of my own mugs? So I've got one on rotation for the break time. Thank you so much, James. That's so generous. I really appreciate that, man. What a Super Sigma Prepper Meister. Just sending out some Wolfpack vibes to you then, man. Thank you so very much. You've got no idea what that means to me and how needed it is running on fumes the way we are. So thank you so very much. Any help is so appreciated. Wow, I'm sort of touched. Thank you so very much, everyone. And thank you, Della, as well, because Della's grabbed herself a mug or two from my Etsy store. I'm really pleased to get it out there and launched. I can focus back on the book again now and get back to writing that, because I've got to get that published soon. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, my darlings. So tomorrow you are 4 hours ahead of... Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So it's already dark at 7 a.m. So yeah, I know. Isn't it depressing, Della? Do you know what? Like, trying to get Hugo walked when it's not dark, bless him, is so difficult, right? By the time I'm like, oh, I should give Hugo a walk, I look at the time and I look outside and I've already got to start turning my blinds down because it's already dark, right? Now, because obviously our clock went back last weekend. So that's a really good point, Daily Survival. Daily Survival just mentioned this, so tomorrow you are 4 hours ahead of us, because usually I'm calculating it based on 5, isn't it? Yeah, so it's now 4. So okay, so it's already going to be later for you then, isn't it? So that works out all right, doesn't it? So if I go live at 10, so Daily Survival, so what we're saying is, if I go live at 10 p.m. rather than 11, for you, that's still going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time. Is that right? Cheers. All 4. Thank you so much, Tanette, for being with us tonight. I'll tell you what, there's so much positivity we need to inject into ourselves in time for 2025, because I'm telling you, it's going to be gnarly as hell. 2025 is going to be the worst year yet. I can feel it. Oh, wow. Are you talking about your mug investment? your merch investment. Thank you so very much, my darling Della. Like I say, the prices are well stripped back because it was more important I had the most premium versions of actual mugs and things like that that were dishwasher proof and, you know, not toxic and things like this. Some of them are, right? So because I've already got it, they're premium to start off with, I've stripped it right back. So, but there is a good $4 or $5 per item in it for me once I've paid the Etsy fee. So it does make a big difference. And I love the fact that somebody's getting something as well as helping the show and helping me personally, and just building that wolf pack of people with their merch. So thank you so very much. Okay, thank you, Daily. So 10 p.m. for you will be 6 p.m. for me. Okay, thank you so very much for helping me to bear that in mind for tomorrow when it comes to scheduling the Halloween special. So I'm really looking forward to that. I should have a lot set up for it. Like I say, at the very least, we'll be having a Secret Prepper quiz with new questions. We got the memes. Don't forget, now's your time. Now's the time to get yourself, like, you've got less than 24 hours to get your memes. Yeah, that's here, look. So in the public lounge, which is like apart from the VIP wolf pack, for the patrons, the first category of rooms here is the public lounge, where you've got the main hangout, which is just where you come and say hello to everyone and just put random stuff in. But here you've got your memes, right? And you've got the quotes. So I don't want you to see them all before you see them all, but get in there and get your quotes in there and get your memes in there as well, right? Because tomorrow we'll be pulling them out. And obviously, like we do, we'll have like 2 or 3 quotes or whatever. And we'll have some memes. And we'll have some SHTF intel report. We'll have some global threat analysis reports. We'll have the quiz. We could even have some preppers progress. But no one started that room off yet. Look, preppers progress in the main lounge. Look, this is where you put your progress in there. Stuff that you've got recently. I mean, I should kick it off, really. Maybe I'll just talk about stuff that I'm working on tomorrow. That's what we'd normally do for Preppers Progress. But, so we'll figure it out. We'll have a Halloween special. We'll try and have some Halloween-themed bits and pieces going on as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the budget to buy a pumpkin in a timely manner enough to carve it with, you know, super-duper wolf-looking business going on with it and all that and be really impressive. But other than that, we'll figure it out. So thank you each and every one of you for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate it. It was great to get live and catch up with you all. So do look out for tomorrow. Thank you to everybody supporting the show with the merch and with the Jamesy as well. Really appreciate your Streamlabs, man. What an absolute dude. Super saved my ass. Maybe the internet won't be turned off after all this month. Thank you so much. So thank you to each and every one of you. Again, all the links are in the description of this video. If you haven't seen it yet, please don't forget, please go and check out. It's important. It happens in the first 24 hours, you see, to keep up the momentum of a video. But if you haven't done already, please go and check out the one I've linked in the description below this video, the caution radiation with my Geiger counter going to Sizewell Nuclear Power Station to check it out and see how bad it really is to live near a power station. And let me just tell you, I wouldn't want to. So thank you so very much, Robert. Really appreciate your kindness, friendship, wolfpackness, and VIPness. Thank you, Day Survival, moderator, kept the links flowing, and really appreciate it. Sandy as well, moderator in the chat. Thank you for your assistance as well. Thank you to each and every one of you. Love to you all. Really lovely to get on here with you. Thank you, Della, for being here as well, talking about things like the caffeine and that we talked about. All important stuff. So thank you for your contribution. So really appreciate you being with us. I've had a fabulous time. I hope you've had a great time too. Do hit the like button on the way out. I've been Drew, the Secret Prepper. You've been absolutely awesome. And as we do, love, peace and progress to the pack. Thank you, everyone.